Hey, it's Adam with the Productivity Academy, and today I want to talk to you real quick about some ways you can stop being distracted, and specifically 3 tools and tips that you can use every day to really help yourself minimize or hopefully eliminate some distractions. So the first 2 are going to be things that you can do or set up, and then the last one is going to be a tool that I want to talk about. So first of all, let's start with the phone. Okay, the phone is a handy tool. It's great. I personally love my phone. It's amazing to think that we have these devices that can do so much, that can help us be productive, that are fun to use. We can call people, text people, check Reddit or whatever it is that you do. But they can also be really, really distracting. So what you can do is when you're going in to work, when you're working on a project, you're trying to focus. I find that it's effective to, personally, I have my phone on silent. If you can't do that, then to at least maybe turn off the sound so you can have it buzzing, or you can only let certain apps, certain apps make notifications. So this can be really helpful. Again, I advise using it on silent mode so that you're not distracted, but I understand, if there's someone who maybe needs to contact you in an emergency, or you need to let certain people contact you, that's fine. But use some sort of app, use some sort of filter so that you're only getting the truly important ones, and you're not just getting messages for new articles and things like that when you're trying to focus. So beyond that, what can you do? Well, what I like to do is to actually take it then and turn it upside down, because most phones, even if they're on silent, you'll get the screen light up when there's a notification. And if it's sitting right there next to you, it doesn't matter how focused you are, how into the work, or how you're trying to block things out. Your eye will see that. I find that once I see that, now I'm curious. Even if I wasn't before and I'm trying not to, now I'm thinking, gosh, I wonder what that notification's about, and I start to reach for the phone. So just turn it upside down. Now then, the next step from there you could do is to take your phone and physically place it out of reach. Okay, this could be in a different room, could be on another table. You could just put it down next to you. But that way, you're not tempted. It's not within that immediate zone where you just pick it up, subconsciously and start using it. You would have to actually think about it in order to do that, and it works. All right, so beyond your phone, what else can you do? Well, I find that forming routines that help you form habits is also a really, really good way to go about minimizing your distractions. This one may not seem so obvious at first, but here's the idea. Let's say, for example, you want to work on a project, or you've got time set aside for it. Instead of just saying, well, I've got some time, I find that if I do that, and I've seen other people where you just have some time set aside, but you don't know what exactly you're supposed to be doing, or you're kind of doing it on the fly, that you're going to switch to things that come up that seem important, instead of doing the tasks that are maybe longer term. So this could be really simple. Let's say you have like bookkeeping or finances that need to be done once a month. So you block out time in your calendar because you know it's going to happen every month. So you can set that time aside. And then within there, you just put in maybe a high-level description of what it is you need to do. Are there spreadsheets or documents you need to gather every month? Is there certain steps that need to happen? So you can put that all in there. So once you go in, you know the steps, and you can just start knocking that stuff out instead of saying, okay, I think there's something I need to be doing, right? We've all been there where you're like, I need to find that file. I can't remember what folder it was in. If you've got that stuff arranged, you're going to be way less distracted. You're not going to be stumbling through files and folders and maybe, answering a phone call or getting a message on Skype or Slack or something like that. You're going to be much more focused. So highly suggest doing that. The daily review, the morning daily review is a great example of this. Instead of just hoping that it happens, you set aside that time and you form a routine around doing a daily review so that you then build that habit and helps you win the day. Now, for the third tip to stop getting distracted and minimizing distractions, I actually want to talk about an app that I've tried. I used it several years ago and I had stopped using it and just recently jumped back in. So give me a sec and we're going to switch over and I'll do a little bit of a screen share and explain what it is. All right, so the app that I wanted to share with you is called Rescue Time. All right, this is a neat app. It's been around for quite a while. I've used it off and on, and it had been a couple years, and I recently came back to it. And I do want to cover the pricing real quick. It's available for free. You can get started and check it out. And then they offer some stuff for premium. You can get automatic blocking of distracting websites, alerts if you achieve your goals, things like that. But, like most of these apps, I like to recommend because I like to try them too. I generally hop in, check out the free or kind of a trial of the premium and see what it does for me before getting into it. Anyways, this is pretty interesting, and how it works is it runs in the background on your computer and mobile devices if you want to. And it just tracks your time. So you understand what apps you're using, what websites you're using. And we can pretend like this would be our screen and say, okay, I spent 11% of my time on social networking today. Obviously that's maybe an area we could turn down. Or news and opinion, maybe that you're realizing, wow, I spend more time reading news. Maybe that's something I want to delegate to certain times of the day. Or maybe this is a really cool part. You can categorize these yourself. So maybe social networking, maybe you're a social media manager, or you're spending time doing promotional stuff on, Facebook, or you're managing ads. Then you can go in here and change that and turn that into productive time. It's pretty flexible. So this is pretty neat too. This is what it looks like when you use the blocking. And so you can say that, the site is blocked. It gives you a nice little quote down here, but it's just kind of interesting. I like it that it's a big block sign, and then you can unblock it. And I believe in settings, there's a way to you can wait 15 seconds and have it unblocked. For example, Google, I need to use that while I'm working. So as soon as I started trying this out, I was like, okay, I need to unblock that. You can also relabel different sites. There's a lot of options in here. So let's actually hop into the background. So this is me, and this is live. So 2 hours and 45 minutes today. I've got 20 or 43 minutes uncategorized. So I'll need to go in, like I said, since I've only been back for a couple of days, I'll need to go back. This was productive. This was some landing pages that I was reviewing, and then design and composition. So some websites, communication, scheduling, and then a little bit of entertainment. Looks like Zoom, VLC media player. So some of that was work as video editing, and then Google Photos. So this is a neat little graph, gives you a little pulse. It says, okay, just real quick, you can see in a snapshot how you're doing. And then over time, it's going to give you a lot more feedback. So I, again, have only been using this again for a few days, but wanted to share what I've seen with it so far and how I think it can help minimize distractions. I do really like the block websites idea, and you can get to that by activating what they call the focus mode, which is certainly a good idea. And, anyone familiar with the idea of deep work might find this very beneficial if they find themselves accidentally or otherwise drifting, to, news websites or Facebook or anything like that. So very handy. And I highly suggest checking this tool out, if not Rescue Time, then something similar, so that you can then also look back and say, okay, this is maybe more of how I'm spending my day. How could I minimize my online distractions? And it's going to be time very well spent. So hopefully these ideas were helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know, and happy to get back to you.